coming to the types of reactions shown by aldehydes and ketones. Now aldehydes and ketones has got very high polarity, very high dipole moment. See, it undergoes number of reactions. Alright, we have already seen that that ketones or aldehydes containing which group? This is known as carbonyl group. It undergoes resonance. Alright, how it is? You have seen it, that this sort of negative and this is positive, we can see. So due to this reason, what you find is that this carbonyl carbon is having electropositive character, as you can see, electropositive character. So as it is having electropositive character, it readily, what you can say, that is attracts the nucleophile towards itself. It readily attracts the nucleophile towards itself. Alright, this carbonyl carbon. Alright, it is very much susceptible to nucleophilic attack, we can say that. So hence it undergoes, number 1, nucleophilic addition reactions. Number 2, nucleophilic addition reaction with elimination of water. Number 3, it undergoes reduction reactions. Then number 4, oxidation reactions. Number 5, reaction due to the alkyl group. This, of course, alkyl group will be here, either here. If it is ketones, 2 alkyl group will be here. And if it is aldehyde, 1 alkyl group will be here. The reaction due to the alkyl group. Next, reaction due to the compound as a whole. Compound as a whole, that is miscellaneous reactions. And there are certain reactions of the aromatic aldehydes and ketones. Separately we are having it. Alright, for the aromatic aldehydes and ketones, particularly we are having some reactions. So the first is, we are going to start the nucleophilic addition reaction. So I understood first why it is undergoing nucleophilic addition reactions. Because you can see here that carbonyl carbon, it shows resonance. Alright, it shows due to which the carbonyl carbon is electropositive in nature. So readily it will be attacked by the nucleophile. Nucleophile means what? Negatively charged species. Readily it will be attacked by the nucleophile. It will undergo nucleophilic addition reactions. Now, if the nucleophile is weaker, like ammonia and its derivatives, we can say that, it will be occurring in weakly acidic medium. The reactions will occur in weakly acidic medium. If the nucleophile is weak, what you can say, nucleophile like ammonia and its derivatives. If it is a stronger nucleophile, like HCl and all, then it will occur in weakly basic medium. Alright, listen carefully. These are the conditions I am saying you. Alright, once you understand the conditions, it becomes very easy to write the reactions. If the nucleophile is a weak nucleophile like ammonia or ammonia and its derivatives, alright, ammonia and its derivatives means what is that? Hydrazine NH2.NH2, then hydroxylamine NH2OH, or what you can say, it will be OH also, like what you can say, alcoholic group, or it can be CONH2, that is nothing but you will be getting the azide, clear? So many you will be seeing it, clear? So in this way, when it is occurring in weak what you can say, a weaker nucleophile, we can say that then reaction takes place in weakly acidic medium. Alright, and if it is stronger nucleophile like HCN and all, the reaction will take place in weakly basic medium. So this is the condition, you need to remember it. Now, first going to the reactions, before going to the reactions, we will understand that when the reaction takes place with the nucleophile, what is the mechanism of the reaction? That's very, very important. Alright, what is the mechanism of the reactions we need to understand first. Because once you understand the mechanism, it becomes easy for you to write the reactions. That's a basic reaction, so to say. So understand what sort of reaction will undergo. It will undergo nucleophilic addition reaction, which will be catalyzed by weak acids and weak bases depending upon the type of nucleophile, so to say. Fine. Next, the first one, suppose we'll take a nucleophile here, a carbonyl group here, and we'll take a nucleophile. Let us write it as Nu dot. 2 dot means minus, we can say that. Negatively charged species. Alright, or neutral species also having excess of electrons, so to say. Fine. So here what we find, carbon positive and oxygen negative. So this pair of electron will definitely will attack this particular carbon, because you can see it is del plus. Apply the common sense. This is having excess electrons, it will attack this. So it is going to attack this. What is that? We are going to have it. This is, you will be having here Nu, and here you will be having O minus. Definitely. Because this is being satisfied, the carbon is satisfied. Now the oxygen is having negative charge in it. Now what I said you, that it will be catalyzed. It will be taking place in weak acidic medium, isn't it? That is, the reaction will take place in H plus ion. Why? Because this is not satisfied, isn't it? We have to satisfy this. So it is Nu, and you will be getting here OH. H plus means this negatively charged will give electron to the H plus, and hence you got this is a stable product. So in this way, in the first step, there is an addition of the nucleophile, we can say that in the first step. Got it? There is an addition of the nucleophile. So you can say also this is a reversible reaction, also you can say that, the first step. And this particular step is the slow step. You know that, all these things you have studied, it's the slow step, this particular step. And definitely this is the fast step. The first step is a slow step because breaking up a bond is taking place, you can see. The breaking up a bond takes place, so hence it's a slow step, the first step, you can say. The addition of the nucleophile is taking place, the breaking up a bond is taking place. In the second step, the H plus ion is added, which is definitely a fast step. Just I told you, it's here slow and fast is not required. Just I told you for your knowledge, because you have studied this in chemical kinetics, the slow step, the fast step. So hence remember, this particular step is your rate determining step. This step is not the rate determining step. Okay. So in this way, you studied this particular one, we can say that. So now after that, we'll come to, that is, the reaction takes place in weak, it is catalyzed by weak acids. Alright, now suppose if the nucleophile is a stronger nucleophile, so it will be catalyzed by what? Weak bases. Then what will be the mechanism? Now understood this mechanism? Got it? This particular mechanism. Now you'll understand the mechanism when it will be catalyzed by bases. Alright, so first Nu, that is H plus OH minus, it will give you what? That is Nu plus HOH, that is water. Nu dot, got it, and water, we are getting it. This cleavage is going to take place here. So this pair of electron will go to this particular one. How the cleavage is going to take place? This pair of electron is being pulled by the nucleophile, and hence this becomes deficient. H, it becomes deficient. So this deficiency is being fulfilled by OH minus. This deficiency of the H plus ion is being fulfilled by OH minus. H plus and OH minus, it forms water. And as you can see, this nucleophile, as it pulls electrons towards itself, it becomes negatively charged. Fine. The first, the nucleophile is being produced. Done. Now, next we will be taking a carbonyl group, C double bond O, where this is positive, this is negative, and this nucleophile, we are getting it from here. Alright. So this pair of electron will be attracted towards this, what you can say, carbon, and what you will get, same thing, same sort of product. That is, here you will be getting nucleophile, and here it is O minus. You will be getting it. Clear? The same sort of what we have seen it. Again, this is your slow step. This particular step is a slow step, the fast step. The first step which you have done it, I have done it to you. So it is written in the board, you can see it is a slow step. Got it? Rate determining step. Now what you will see is that here again it will react with H plus ion. Got it? Again it will react with H plus ion. We can say that it is going to react with H plus ion. Now you might be thinking, H plus ion, from where we got it? From water. Alright, from water the H plus ion we are getting it, because OH minus is absorbed by here, that is water. Got it? And hence from there we are getting this particular, what you can say, stable compound, Nu, and O minus H plus ion is giving you OH. Okay, in this way we got the product. So how it is basic medium? See, initially only. Alright, the nucleophile will be NuH. How the nucleophile will be produced? That is, the first OH minus reacts with this particular H plus ion to form water. From there you will be getting H plus ion. And that H plus ion reacts with this oxygen ion to form, that is, a stable compound. The only difference is that the basis, what you can say, the medium is different. In the first, it is catalyzed by acids. It is here in the second, that it is catalyzed by bases. Because in the previous case, it was a weaker nucleophile, and now it is a stronger nucleophile, already I said it. Fine. Now this is the mechanism, we got it, we learned it from here. Now next we will come, that is the reactivity of the carbonyl group, alright, whether it is aldehydes and ketones, depends upon the positive charge on the carbonyl carbon. Alright, the reactivity of this carbonyl group depends upon the positive charge here, the positive charge which is present on the carbonyl carbon, it depends upon that. Means more it is positive, more reactive, what you can say, the compound is. Means more positive it is, more it is positive, this particular one. More reactive the compound is. Alright, how it will be more positive, this particular one. Suppose here the species which will be present here, got it? Let us write it as A and B to make you understand. Let us write it as A. Suppose A and B both are hydrogen. Alright, A and B both are hydrogen. Then what is B? They are neither electron donor species nor electron withdrawing species. Let us say A is CH3 group. CH3 is what? Electron donor. It is electron donor. So it is going to donate electron to this particular carbonyl carbon. So the positive, electropositive character of the carbonyl carbon decreases. For that reason I said, more electropositive is this carbonyl carbon, more reactive it is. So the reactivity of the aldehydes and ketones depends upon the strength of the or the electropositive character of the carbonyl carbon atom. Alright, if here A is CH3 group, B is also CH3 group, or any alkyl group, let us say C2H5 or any alkyl group. So here we both are alkyl group, both are electron donor, so it will donate electron to this particular carbon. Again what you will find is that electropositive character decreases. So the reactivity decreases. So hence I said, again and again I am saying, the reactivity of the aldehydes and ketones depends upon the electropositive character of the carbonyl carbon. So it depends upon the substituent which is attached to the carbon atom. This A and B depends upon that. It depends upon, readily upon that. Alright, that what is the substituents attached. So hence we can say if two hydrogen is there, which I already said you. Now this is neither electron donor nor electron withdrawing. So this is the most reactive. So what is the, which compound it is? Formaldehyde. So formaldehyde is highly reactive in nature, because here the the strength of the or the electropositive character of the carbonyl carbon is maintained. It is maintained here. The strength of the carbonyl carbon is maintained here. So hence it is the most reactive species, we can say that. Most reactive, because it readily attracts the nucleophile towards itself. It readily attracts a nucleophile. Alright, now here what I am doing, I am just adding one CH3 group. So here you see, I am adding one CH3 group. One CH3 group I have added it. Now CH3 group is a donor group, I already said it. The strength of the carbonyl carbon will slightly decrease, so reactivity decreases. So formaldehyde is more reactive than acetaldehyde. Formaldehyde is more reactive than acetaldehyde. Alright, fine. Now one more CH3 group I am adding it here. See here, CH3, then here it is CH3, and here it is double bond O. Now one more CH3 group is added. That means one more electron donor is added. So the strength of the carbonyl carbon still decreases further. So hence the reactivity decreases further. So ultimately what I can say you, in short, formaldehyde is more reactive than acetaldehyde, acetaldehyde is more reactive than acetone. In other words, aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. Because in aldehyde the general formula is RCHO, and in formaldehyde is the HCHO. Alright, so RCHO, but in ketones it is RCOR. So both will be the alkyl group, maybe methyl, ethyl, propyl, whatever it is. Alright, so whatever it is, any alkyl group is electron donor group, which decreases the electropositive nature of carbonyl carbon, due to which the reactivity decreases. So hence remember it always, aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. You can also say, you have read in the class 11, that here CH3 group is electron donor group. That means it is plus I effect. As I effect is increasing, electropositive character of the carbonyl carbon is decreasing. Due to decrease in electropositive character of the carbonyl carbon, reactivity also decreases. Alright, as I effect is increasing, here there is no I effect. Here is one I effect, here two are there. So as now if you take still bigger group like C2H5, C3H7, so I effect is going to increase, the reactivity is going to decrease. I means what? Inductive. Plus I effect increases, reactivity decreases. You have studied in class 11 in general organic chemistry, we can say that. So in this way, always remember aldehydes is more reactive than ketones, we can say that always. Alright. So one what you can say thing you came to know, that with the increase in plus I effect, with the increase in inductive effect, reactivity decreases. This is one reason. Another reason is that suppose I have given you several other aldehydes and ketones. Got it? Then what is going to happen? So there we are going to see the steric hindrance. Got it? There we are going to see the steric hindrance. Means what is that? See here. CH3, CO, CH3. We are having one ketone. We can say that. Now here we are having another one, that is CH3, CO, C2H5. Another one. See, it's a bigger group. I have taken. Another I have taken here CH3 whole twice, that is CH and C double bond O, and here also same thing, CH3 whole twice CH. Alright, here also I have taken CH3 whole twice CH, or I can also take here, that is nothing but CH3 whole thrice C. Alright, see, still bigger group I have taken, tertiary group I have taken it. Fine. Now, what we find is that here, that is as a moving in this particular order, you can see CH3, 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 C2H5, this group become bulky group. It's become bulky group. Here it becomes still bulky, we can say that, bigger group. So bigger group will not allow the nucleophile to readily attack this particular carbonyl carbon. Will not allow, the bigger group will not allow, because it will have electronic cloud itself. It is having an electronic cloud of itself. So this electron cloud, and the nucleophile is also having an electron cloud. This is negatively charged. So it will not allow to come closer to that particular carbon atom. Because as I said, this is having an electron cloud, a bigger. So if you take bigger group, means bigger electron cloud. So this bigger electron cloud and a nucleophile which is having its own electron cloud, when they will come closer to each other, both the electron cloud, they will repel one another, which is known as what? Steric hindrance. It is known as steric hindrance. And here also the repulsion is going to take place. Here also. These two groups are also bigger groups. Here also the repulsion is going to take place. Alright, if you take bulky group here, the repulsion will increase. Here the repulsion is less compared to this, because you can see a bigger group is there. Here the repulsion is still more, because here still bulky group is there. So repulsion is going to take place between the two alkyl groups which is attached to the carbonyl carbon, as well as the repulsion is going to take place between, it will not allow the what you can say, the nucleophile to readily attack the carbonyl carbon. What is this known as? It is known as steric hindrance. This is also called as steric effect. Alright, this is known as. So what you find is that bigger the alkyl group which is attached to carbonyl carbon, more difficult it is the nucleophile to attack, what you can say, the carbonyl carbon. More difficult it will be due to steric hindrance. So that means in simple words I should say, as the steric hindrance increases, reactivity decreases. So what we find, this particular ketone is more reactive than this and more reactive than this. So as the alkyl group increases, steric hindrance increases, reactivity also decreases. Alright? So nucleophilic addition reaction does not take place readily. It takes place readily here, then here, then here. Comparative. This is comparing I am doing it. Alright, this is a comparison I have done it here. Alright, if you take with aldehydes, then aldehydes definitely will be more reactive than ketones, we can say that. That already we have said it. Got it? So two things you learnt it here, that the reactivity depends upon the carbonyl carbon, which depends upon plus I effect, and it depends upon the steric hindrance or steric effect, we can say that. Okay, fine. Now next is, what about the reactivity? What about the reactivity of the aromatic aldehydes and ketones? What about the reactivity of aromatic aldehydes and ketones? That we'll see in the next video. Thank you.